in Vancouver downtown right now, about to head over to Rolex GWC to see what they have in stock. I made one of these videos in 2024 last summer. I think I titled it Rolex Availability Report. And when I went in there, they didn't have anything for sale. I did get a brochure though, which is pretty cool. I got a magazine as well. I think I came back, oh, that was a long time ago. But yeah, I got a magazine. I'll pop it over on the screen. But anyways, I'm gonna go in, check out what they have. Maybe I'll see some OPs. Maybe I'll see my Wimbledon Datejust on the Jubilee bracelet with a fluted bezel. That would be a dream. I'll probably, can I? No, maybe not right now. So I wish I don't have it because then I'll miss out on it. But anyways, let's see what they got going on. I'm super excited. Haven't been here in a long time. Downtown's popping right now. It's nice weather, middle of July. Let's see what they got.
Working our way from the outside in, first watch of the day, we've got the Rolex Explorer 36 in steel. Beautiful watch. Funnily enough, I've warmed up a lot to it since getting my Oyster Perpetual. But man, this watch is now listed for 9,500 Canadian dollars on the Rolex website. Beside it is the Explorer 40, reference 224270. I've had a chance to try this model on in Vegas last year. The 40mm size felt perfect then, but I wonder if I would still feel the same about it after wearing the 36mm watch for so long. Well, if your wrist is simply too big for the 36, you might be interested in the two-piece between the 40 and the Rolex Explorer 2 in black. I've had a chance to try this on in Nakano Broadway in Japan last year. An exceptionally brilliant watch, just unfortunately too big for my wrist. Next, we've got a root beer. These are all for display and exhibition only, but I wonder if the specific 126711 CHNR was available for purchase, if it would fly off the counter or still be sitting as a window watch. Beautiful watch, don't get me wrong, but with the Rolex market having taken a hit in recent years, this watch is now trading at just slightly below retail after taxes. To its right is a Bruce Wayne two-tone Rollosaur on Jubilee, reference 126713 GRNR. Funny how just a few subtle changes in the bezel and the bracelet can give a watch such a different look and feel compared to the root beer. And to the right, a modern marvel of a release by Rolex in recent memory, the left-hand drive Sprite on Oyster, reference 126720 VTNR. I appreciate the boutique displaying this watch on its side as it mellows out the odd side crown and makes it feel less weird. Well, now that this watch has been out for 3 years now, I'm realizing it a bit odd how I still haven't seen anyone with this watch out in the wild in Vancouver or throughout all my travels. I've come across plenty of Batmans, Batgirls, and Pepsis since 2022, but it's feeling like the Sprites and the Bruce Waynes still haven't really made themselves available to the market yet. Not sure if it's the case of Rolex further tightening their production numbers or the buyer demographic not having been the same financially. Well, it can't be the latter, as Rolex clearly thinks the mass majority of people still got money like it's 2021 with the newest release of the Land-Dweller. I felt so privileged and lucky to be seeing this watch in person. I know, it's weird to say this about a brand in a store that doesn't know that I exist or need my business, but this feels like stumbling across a museum and finding your favorite works of art just happening to be exhibiting there for the weekend. On wrist, I have the Land-Dweller 40 in steel with a white gold bezel. Same setup as they do fluted Jubilee Datejusts. The reference number is 127334 and the watch is priced at 19,400 Canadian dollars. You know, with all the jokes about the watch feeling like a PRX with an oyster quartz body, the watch is actually very impressive in the flesh. The watch sports a new high-beat movement, the Caliber 7135, which is currently exclusive only to the Land-Dwellers. It's got a power reserve of 66 hours, which is Rolex clearly showing their intent for the demographic of this watch. I'm sure the Chinese people are very happy. And the movement has allowed the watch to thin down to a mere 9.7mm thin.
Nothing beats it. Rolex.
Talking about first impressions, it wears incredible on the wrist, despite how angular the case is. Its thin profile is one thing I really loved, as well as its display back. Check this thing out. Gold rotor on full display, as if it was a Daytona or 1908. It's a really beautiful movement. Another thing I really appreciated about this watch, holding it in hand, is the engineering on the bracelet. Now, Rolex has been known to have the best metal bracelets in the game, whether it's on Oyster or Jubilee or Presidents, and this integrated Land-Dweller bracelet is no different. Recalling from the few times I borrowed my colleague's AP Royal Oak Jumbo to fidget with during meetings I didn't need to be in, the bracelet on the Land-Dweller feels very similar in that despite its angularity, there were no harsh edges, and each link combined in its entirety became a very cohesive, delicate, yet reliable bracelet that melts beautifully onto the wrist. I sound like a foodie or something. Run, don't walk. Now, I'm actually just amazed at the quality of this bracelet. Definitely the biggest highlight for me amongst all the things I like about this watch. And here is the Land-Dweller 40 in rose gold, reference number 127335. Solid rose gold, so the retail price of 60,000 Canadian dollars really isn't surprising. Also, quick tangent, on the website there's actually an alternate rose gold version available with pave diamonds on the bezel. 135k Canadian for that one. You know, just to help broaden the consideration set.
I was pretty lucky, as they said they had just gotten the Land-Dwellers, the Rolex Land-Dweller, available in both 36 and 40 millimeters. There you go. That sounds more professional. It was actually really cool to try on. It was, okay, I'll be honest, when the product photos first came out, I wasn't the biggest fan. I felt like it just looked like a cheap PRX with a cheap recycled dial, but getting hands-on, I don't have these moments often because, I mean, there's just a lot of like random watches out there, but the thickness of it, first of all, was amazing. It was so thin, and the whole feel of the watch, it felt surprisingly robust for how, I guess, how thin the watch is. The bracelet also was a huge highlight for me. It was like a Royal Oak Jumbo bracelet, the way that the sides are beveled and the whole brush finishing, sandblasting is that what it's called? The finishing is just amazing. If you guys are in Vancouver, definitely hit up Rolex GWC and try out the watch before, I don't know, it gets sold or sent back to headquarters, whatever can happen. The display movement, the exhibition case back as well. You can see everything going on in both I tried on both the rose gold and also the steel model with the white roller. So basically your Datejust setup, like your fluted bezel, steel bracelet, everything else. Starting price is a lot higher. I don't remember the exact price. I'll pop it up on the screen. I think it's like 15 or 17k Canadian. They don't have the platinum version with the ice blue dial available, unfortunately, because that watch, it reminds me of the SM51 Blue Eyes. I don't know how many of you guys are gonna get that reference, but that watch is gorgeous, and I don't know when I'm gonna come back, and even if I come back, I really don't think they'll have it available in the case, but if I ever do get a chance to try it out, I for sure will. Okay, the 4 exhibition Land-Dwellers aside, was there anything for sale? Yes, they actually had watches for sale. So as soon as I went in, the person who serviced me, her name is Lalin. She was very friendly. Fortunately, she doesn't have anything to sell me, but she remembered from last year that I still wanted the 126234 Datejust with the Wimbledon down, the Jubilee bracelet, and the fluted bezel, of course. And right away she was like, okay, this cabinet here, this is for sale. We also have this cabinet, that's for sale. And I confirmed with her. I was like, whoa, like they're not exhibition only. She's like, no, that's for sale. And I didn't have a chance to get a close up look at them yet, but as soon as I went to the counter, I saw it was a bunch of diamond encrusted Datejusts, not to the Pearl Master level, but it was all across the board. Like you had your 28 millimeters all the way to like 40 or 41. It's been a while. I forgot what size they go up to.
It was very elegant. Yeah, I'm happy with it.
I'm back with a trusty new companion. As I was saying, I think the only watch that had some resemblance of a mainstream appeal that they had in stock and was available for sale must have been a Yachtmaster Rose Gold 41 with no diamonds on the dial, surprisingly. Can't recall what that watch is retailing for. I'll throw it up on the screen. But yeah, aside from that, it really was just a bunch of Datejust and diamond out stuff, whether it's just on the indices or the bezels or the whole thing. Not very interesting, but again, if you're in Vancouver, definitely go visit right now and try on the Land-Dweller before they rotate it out. Also, it was kind of cool to see the Sprite on the Oyster bracelet in the display case. Unfortunately, I didn't explicitly ask her if I can try it on, but I was like, are there any other new releases that I can try on? And she's like, no, unfortunately, that's everything. I'm like, all right, I'll take my leave. So no Sprite this time. That's it for this video. Hopefully you guys found some value in this. Trying on the Land-Dweller definitely was an experience. I'll see you guys in the next one.